All right, it's time to do some drawing. Got to clear out our drawing space first, though. The pencils go in here. We all know that. Got to put them butt down so the tips of the pencils are pointing up threateningly. Okay, I think that's most of them. Headache drugs over there. I think we can draw on this little pad right here. Look at that. Perfect. With this pen. It's from Studio Neat. It's just a nice plain pen, not a lot to it, but it's just good for scribbling and drawing. When you don't know what you want to draw, but you want to draw something, it's just kind of like some kind of gel pen, right? For some reason, I really like the yellow paper like this. Maybe it's just like a little bit less harsh than white paper. I'm gonna do this as like a real-time drawing video, so I'm not as afraid to rotate. Hope you're all doing okay today. My name is Peter, and today I rode my e-bike a little bit more, just cruising around. It's interesting. I haven't been riding it too much, but I don't even pedal it at all. At first I thought like you're supposed to like, hey, this is like a cool thing. You can pedal it and it has like assisted pedaling. I just kind of ride it like it's a weird little motorcycle that only goes like 30 miles an hour. And it's interesting because it's like some weird middle ground between a bicycle and a motor vehicle, because a lot of cars, like if you stop at an intersection, like several times I pulled up to like a four-way stop, like intersection with 4 stop signs, and if I pulled up at the same time as a car, almost every single time the car would let me go first. I don't know why. Maybe they're just trying to, give the right of way. Even if I pulled up a little bit after them, they were like, go ahead. They're like, everyone was like waving me through. One time I pulled up at an intersection with like a pedestrian crossing, and cars stopped for me. I'm like, hey, I'm a vehicle too. I'm not a pedestrian. Go on, do your thing. But it was like getting a weird amount of deference. Is that the word? Anyways, it's been fun. Just zooming around. I mean, I still want to stick to riding my normal bicycle some, because I don't get any exercise on the e-bike because I haven't been pedaling, but it's still good to get out, gets me out of the house, get me some fresh air, sunshine. Take what I can get. This kind of looks like a weird joint with some like almost weird muscle sinews or something here. It's okay to just sketch and scribble. Not everything you do has to be like a. Sorry, there's something on my eye, like a piece of fuzz on my eyelashes. Not everything you do has to be something that's getting ready and primed to be in the Louvre. Like it's not all got to be the highest, most polished, perfect piece of art. You can just enjoy the feeling of the pen making marks on the paper. Test out some things like, hey, what happens if I put a bunch of these little loops down here, and what maybe I'm gonna come in right here and do a bunch of these little lines and a bunch of these little lines, and then color this part in really dark, this part in really dark, and actually, what if I have this little marker here? It's an alcohol marker, which is gonna bleed through like crazy, but it's okay. What if I do some shading with this? If you're too worried about the bleed through, you could, keep a piece of paper in the back to catch some of it. But I'm not too worried about nothing. I do like the sound of the marker on the paper. It's like, I feel like the sound is like scratching some itch I didn't know I had. Is that what ASMR is? Don't know. Kind of disappointed this pen doesn't make the sound as satisfying. Makes a sound though, if I draw quickly like this. I just gotta make the sounds with my mouth. When in doubt, make sound effects. I've been taking some piano lessons, and it's interesting because my piano teacher encouraged me to like hum the songs, hum the tune of some songs like as I was playing them. But then I was afraid that that would be like a crutch, that I would be like humming the song. I wouldn't be good at playing the song without humming along to it, or like going do 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 along with it at the piano. But then, it's not the end of the world if you are, unless you're like unless your humming performance is, taking away from your piano piece. But also, I was watching these, videos of like really good piano players, and a lot of them do kind of hum and haw and tweedledee tweedledum a little bit verbally as they play. So I guess it's kind of a common thing, and I'm not sure exactly what the purpose of it is, like why my piano teacher told me to do that. I should ask her, but I think it's just kind of to help with the I don't know, it sounds kind of vague to say like the musicality of it, but I feel like if you're kind of singing it to yourself as you play it, it helps you. I don't know, I'm kind of struggling to describe it. Like the storytelling aspect of it. You know what I mean? Helps helps you give it more depth and breadth. Instead of playing it as mechanically, maybe, if that makes any sense. Kind of like how this drawing's coming along. The marker, I think, the gray marker was an oddly good addition. And come back in with a little, sorry, I'm scratching my eye. I don't know if it's like allergies, but the last couple of days my eye's been a little bit itchy, a little bit scratchy. Itchy, scratchy. Itchy, scratchy, show. What do you think I'm drawing here? What is this? Kind of made some weird shapes with the marker over here. Kind of trying to work them back in. I feel like when I do these fast ones, my pen was like rattling a little bit. Like I had a loose bolt, but I don't think there's any bolts in it. So I don't know what was rattling. Trying to make some areas a little bit denser and darker here. So maybe these, as I scribble a little bit more like that, those parts will like sink into the paper, so it doesn't look, I don't want it to look quite as flat, I guess. I'm making like kind of fast, strong strokes instead of, there's another way you could approach a drawing, kind of going like slower and drawing, each line more carefully. But I'm not really doing that this time. Basically, what you do, there's a lot of different ways you could draw lines. What you want to avoid, I think the main type of line you want to avoid is like the fuzzy, furry lines. Like some people, when they want to draw a line that looks like this, for example, like a nice, any kind of line really, instead of just drawing the line, they kind of like draw a bunch of little short lines to approximate it, right? And then you get one big nasty fuzzy line that nobody likes. So you just gotta kind of gotta go for it and trust yourself. Just kind of swing for the bleachers with the line you want to draw, and maybe the line won't end up right where you want it, but it'll be a nicer line, even if it's not what you quite envisioned. And then you'll get better too. A lot of it just comes with practice. Your hand gets more confident and more sure of itself. I don't know what is going on up here. Anyways, maybe I'm gonna come back in with the marker again. Some marker here, here. I think with these alcohol markers, you can kind of layer it too. I can see me doing a little bit. Right now I'm kind of sitting here and I'm like defocusing my eyes a little bit to see where I want to add more like darkness and contrast. So the whole drawing's kind of a blurry mess to me right now. So this helps me know where I want to have like light areas and dark areas, right? There's always a risk that you overdo it and then maybe you have too much of a dark area and it's just the whole thing sinks into the swamp, but that's okay. Just one more experience for next time when you're drawing. You're like, no, last time I remember how that worked out when I went too far. Well, I have another marker. It's a little bit lighter. Let's say we have neutral gray and cool gray. I think that was neutral gray I was using before. It could be a bad idea to use a neutral gray and a cool gray together. Actually, yeah, this is looking kind of, I might stop actually. I feel like this is looking pretty cool. Like I kind of like the loose sketchiness of it. This is not really one for looking really close at it and enjoying all the little details, but just kind of, it's just kind of like a poof, like a poof. Little splat, a little explosion onto the paper. And sometimes that's good enough. Okay. I feel like I should stop before, it starts getting worse instead of better. Sometimes you know when to stop just because you're like, wow. Well, like I said, you take your past experiences into account. You're like, hey, I remember last time I was I had a similar feeling about a drawing and I kept drawing and things went south quickly. But also you can be like, hey, it's starting to happen. The drawing's starting to get worse now instead of getting better. So just, you just stop. You're like, hey, this is good enough. I like it now. And you can just move on to the next drawing and enjoy that for what it is. So thanks everyone for watching this fun little doodle. Maybe if I rip this one out, then I can draw here another one. And look, if I want to use marker again on this page, I can just stick this one in behind it and it'll catch the bleed through for that one. So this is my little catch paper now. Anyways, thanks everyone. See you later. Have a good day.